Fall is here, hear the yell. Back to school, ring the bell. Brand new shoes, walking blues. Climb the fence, books and pens. I can tell that we are gonna be friends. I can tell that we are gonna be friends.
Your postpone your military service. What?
Yeah, because they say you're four because I took 1 year gap year, right? So according to their database, I already have graduated.
Oh.
Right, you get what I mean, right?
Yeah.
Because
yeah,
if
yeah.
it's like from
You should
Korean
be-
universities, they will update the information. But I'm in Hong Kong.
They don't count the gap year as a gap year.
Yeah, they
just count-
didn't know about it.
Okay,
So
okay.
I had to tell them I am still in fucking university.
Right.
So I needed to get a testimonial form. Applied in the middle of my shoulder session, like, was having a good pump, and then I just got an email saying, "Oh, you need to come and get it." I was like, "Fuck, okay, sure, why not? Why the fuck not?" So I had to go grab it, and then I was on the way, and I had to send an email to the Korean Military Service office. So, yeah, that's all.
So but then do you have to go to military service after you leave Hong Kong now?
No, the thing is, if I go back to Korea
Yeah.
without submitting this fact,
Oh, okay. There's
then what happens is I can't go out.
you can't leave Korea.
Yeah,
Oh.
go back out. So it's like, for example, during like Chinese New Year, if I want to go back to Korea
Yeah.
just to spend time with my family, then if I didn't apply for that, then I will be just stuck there.
Oh.
So I
okay.
can't, even though my semester started, I
Yeah.
genuinely cannot. So I have to apply it today. So, I mean, this month, end of this month.
Okay.
So, but then I was quite scared because I wasn't sure when it's gonna be, like, the testimonial will be given.
Yeah.
So, I was trying my best to, like, tell the office saying, can you wait for a week? Come on, be a little bit fluid,
Sweet talk them a little
Yeah,
bit.
you're like, oh, you're so pretty. You're so sweet. I love you.
Just some 50-year-old man. What is this kid on about?
Yeah. And then so I had to do, and I told them, and then they didn't reply. I think I don't know, they're getting our taxes, and not doing their job properly. So that's that.
Oh. Yeah.
So yeah.
Okay. So, yeah, I mean, we may as well officially start.
Sure.
Let's just start off with what's your name, what
Oh,
are you
right.
studying, and how do you feel about being in Chisan?
Oh, Chisun, right? Not HKU. Okay.
Yeah, let's just stick to Chisun
Okay,
for
okay,
now.
stick to Chisun. Okay. First, my name is Daniel Kim, and I am studying physics as a major, and I am minoring in computer science. And about Chisun, I think it's great. I like Chisun.
Okay,
Chisun
good.
is one of the most relaxed, and also very, how to say, caring, some sort of,
Yeah.
to students. Because when they, during like a study period, they kind of try to make the noise minimize. That's good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like, I mean, I haven't had much dorm experience,
Right.
but after moving into Chisan,
Right.
I'd say my expectations have been met or somewhat exceeded
Right.
because of the people in Chisan.
Right.
Like I heard stories from other halls. I've heard, like, I've had close friends in other halls, and
Right.
I'm just like, that just doesn't seem like an environment I want to live in.
Yeah, exactly.
It just doesn't seem appealing to me.
I heard, because I don't know. It's kind of how to say, a little bit graphic. If you're saying the thing is,
sure.
do you know Sky? One of the halls in the
Skyly, yeah.
So like about like when my brother was there, he's from HKU, by the way.
Okay.
So he graduated, but he used to live there in the Sky, like in his like first year, which is like 2000 what, 15, 16, around that
how
time.
old is your brother?
He's 3 years older than me.
3
So,
years.
yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
You're in year 4 now.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Year-
But then I took a gap year too.
yeah,
so
but
it's
so
like,
year 5.
Yeah, year
and-
5-ish,
okay.
yeah. So the thing was, when he was there, he got an email saying that there was this incident happened in the dorm. And I was like, oh, what happened? And it was like, if you don't want to read about it, just skip it, but then it's going to be graphic. So
Oh, okay.
so
okay.
I saw the new, he was like reading the email, and he saw there was assault, like sexual assault, happened in
okay.
a sky. But the funny thing is, it's not only about it was not between girl and a guy
Wait.
on girl.
Okay.
It was guy on a guy.
Guy on a guy, so it's just
So
fighting.
no, two guy on a one guy. So
Oh,
so
like proper gang
yeah,
stuff.
exactly.
Yeah.
So what they did was they actually like took a video of them smacking their private thing on a guy's face.
Oh no.
Exactly, and then
Oh, no.
they kind of uploaded it on the one of the famous porn site. We all know the yellow and black.
The hub.
Yeah, the hot one.
The hub.
Yeah. So and it was uploaded, I think, as far as I know, and then it became an issue, and he got an email. He was like, "This is my first year in HKU, and I'm getting all this." And my brother was having
Peak entertainment,
exactly,
yeah.
and he was like, "Oh god damn!" It's like it's gonna be interesting year, but yeah, that's one of the things. I think it's very strict when it comes to those halls. Like I think on campus like Swire, but I think it's most of the time is between the local.
Yeah,
it's not.
no,
It's
it
not.
is, it is, it
there's
is,
no
yeah.
international.
International don't
Yeah, no,
get touched.
no,
yeah.
there is no internet. I'm pretty sure if that happens internationally, it's gonna get issued
Oh yeah,
big.
yeah.
So
yeah, the
maybe that's the
HKU's
reason
whole
why.
reputation goes down the
Exactly.
line.
Maybe that's the reason why. But I don't know. But it was a fun event. I mean, not for him, but like
Was it like traumatizing for you hearing it from your brother? Like, oh, I'm going to this international university,
Oh, yeah,
and if you're gonna come here, you better know these stories.
no, the thing is, like, my brother, he's one of the guys that he does not tell this kind of story,
Okay.
right? So
Yeah.
when I already got into HKU, I got already admitted, and then he talked
And
about
then
it.
he talked about it.
So I
okay.
was like doing my
It's a bit late now.
like third week of HKU, and he was like, "Hey, do you know?" I'm like, "Hey, yo, why
wait,
didn't you
what do
tell
you
me?
mean?
Like, why didn't you tell me?
Could've
earlier?"
warned me, bro. Like-
Exactly. And then he also talked about the incident in Waylon, the master,
Oh yeah.
and it was like, oh, I mean, this HKU, wow, it's bizarre. It's
Yeah,
bizarre.
no, I mean, thankfully, it's all local. I mean, I'm technically a local, but I don't exactly fit
Right,
in as a
right.
local, so I'm more international. So, thankfully, I'll never be involved in any, like, anything like that's outrageous. I could just have fun with my friends and
Right.
whatever. But the amount of stories that just go around, and I think this is the same for, like, all dorm culture. Like,
Right.
it's just bound to happen.
Right.
So yeah, I mean, even if someone did give me advice and give me warning as to where I'm going, and then tell me like, oh, this place has these stories, but I'd still go because I'm the type of guy to just do stuff for the experience.
Sure,
So
sure.
I'd go in there just to see it happen.
Right.
Obviously not that exact situation,
Yeah.
but
Yeah, I
just-
get it, man.
yeah,
I
just
get
the
it.
experience.
But I guess good news in a bad situation is that they were they were punished. The
Of
people,
course, yeah.
Of course, they should have not done that. Of course, that's
No,
not
no, no,
that's
yeah.
not fun. That's not great. But like, it's crazy how it's very close to us that all this kind of things happening.
Yeah.
Because when I was in a high school, I thought it was just like those kind of things doesn't really
Yeah.
happen. You know,
Yeah, high school's tame.
yeah,
bro.
it's just like a
yeah.
news. You go to like an internet or like Yahoo news back in the days, right?
Back in the day, you're not that much older than us.
Yeah, but like Yahoo or stuff like that. I saw this kind of news, and
Yeah.
I'm like, oh come on, that's not gonna happen in real life. I mean, they do happen, but not in where I am staying right now because it doesn't happen really, not that much. So, but then like when I became an adult, basically
Yeah.
when I became like 19, 20. I realized it actually happens around me, like near around me,
yeah.
which was like very awakening moment.
Just all.
I was like, oh my god, yeah, it's my
You're the common denominator.
it's my responsibilities now
Yeah.
to become an adult. It's like it became like one of the things where it kind of separates between like boundary of parents' boundary to becoming adult. Is when you realize that you are no longer in a safe hand of your parents.
Yeah.
You get what I mean,
I
right?
get what you mean. Yeah, it's like
So like when I came to
Yeah.
HKU, when I just get the news and everything,
Yeah.
I was like, oh yeah, I'm adult now.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
if anything happens,
I can't go anywhere.
Yeah,
I don't have anyone to be like, yo,
yeah.
save me.
Yeah,
I don't
save me.
save my.
Yeah.
Yeah, just it's all on you. Essentially.
It's all on me, yeah.
Yeah.
And especially for the international students who's living
It's
away
a
from
foreign
parents.
land, foreign
Yeah.
school. Everything's just new.
Yeah, at first I was scared, but then as time went by and it became just an event
Yeah,
that
of course,
happened. So,
yeah. When did you?
tragic.
So when did you first come to Hong Kong?
2019.
2019,
Right.
and then you didn't move into Chisan then.
No, I was in New College.
You were in New College.
I was in New College.
You stayed there for 2 years.
2 years and a
then
half.
2 year and a half,
Yeah.
and then you came to Chisan.
Yeah.
Why? Is there any reason as to why you swapped, or?
Oh, it's not. There
I
was
want,
no.
I want to start from college beef.
Sure,
right
sure,
now.
sure. But no worries. Nothing bad happened. What happened was, so after the gap year I took between first semester of third year,
Right.
and then when I came back, the new college said they're out of. Vacancies.
Yeah.
So I was like, but I lived there for 2.5, and I did all this
Come
work.
give me
Like, come
some
on, give me
priority,
something.
yeah.
And it's like, oh no, you cannot. So I will just give you I will just send your application to other halls in Jockey Club Student Village
that's
3.
good, that's good.
Yeah,
They
that was great. I
transferred
was like,
you,
oh,
okay.
thank you. I was like, and then the chief was like, can you do an interview?
Uh-huh.
So I did actually interview with Sadiq.
Oh,
My ex-roommate,
Yeah.
yeah. So when I was doing an interview, I saw him there. Like that was my first interaction with him.
I see.
Right. So and he was talking about like the interviewer asked like, what did you do in the previous hall? Like what have you done in terms of activities and stuff? And Sadi said he didn't do anything. And I was like, yes, I'm getting it. I did a lot.
If that's my competition, I'm getting in.
Yeah, I'm getting it. But then like luckily both of us got a chance to stay in Chisan. So,
Okay, that's amazing.
yeah.
No, but they the fact that they like transferred you, that's really good. Was Sadiq was that his first year in HKU? Or
No. That was I think his second year.
second year. Okay. Yeah.
Second year. Now I have a different roommate.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, so that's that.
Who? So your roommate is now
Brian.
Brian,
Yeah, the
the
previous,
previous
yes.
owner of the podcast.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. So I want to talk about you being in year 4 now.
Yeah, right.
So I know you are a very wise man.
Okay,
Because you're in year 4, so
Okay.
you're years ahead of us. So
Yeah.
you've given us a lot of advice.
Right, sure.
But I wanna ask,
All right.
how do you feel about going ahead from now on? Like,
It's
because
the
it must
future.
be scary.
Uh,
In my head, it's scary, but I don't know for you.
so, for me, I think uncertainty is always there.
True.
Even though where you go, what
that's a
you
big
do.
thing, Yeah.
So, to be honest, I genuinely really don't give large amount of thoughts on what I'm gonna do in the future
Yes.
because it's uncertain. I don't know what's gonna happen.
True.
Sometimes.
So like ignorance is bliss kind of thing.
Yeah, and also like when I came, when I came to HKU, I was actually planning to go to HKUST rather than HKU.
Oh yeah.
But then things have a shift and everything. Now
Yeah.
I'm in HKU,
Yeah.
so you don't know what's
True.
even though you plan like multiple like 30 years ahead.
Okay, 30 might be a bit too extreme.
Okay, sure. But like let's say like what I mean is like I want to do this career, and then by this time I want to be in this position. I want to be in this position,
Yeah.
and I want to be in like earning this much. Like that's 30 years ahead,
Yeah,
right?
of course.
But sometimes your life path does not go in that path. Sometimes you go to the other way around. Like you do something else entirely different.
You can't predict the
yeah.
externalities. Yes.
Yeah, like especially my brother. He did electrical engineering, and then he's now doing software engineering
Okay.
in one of the investment banks.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
Amazing,
So
Is he still in Hong Kong now?
yeah, he's working in
Okay,
Hong
okay.
Kong. So you see like how different it is electrical engineering.
Yeah.
Even though it's engineering, but like software and electrical engineering is quite different.
Yeah.
It's more of hardware and what is like software. So one thing is that if you have uncertainty, what you have to do is just live with it.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes the uncertainty is a good thing.
Yeah.
So we as a physics,
Mhm.
we have something called uncertainty principle.
Yeah.
By
of course,
Heisenberg.
Of course, yeah.
And we kind of immerse this theory to our life. And what we say is, even though like let's say if you know what you want to do
Mm.
as like right now, you will not able to know in the future. But like if you know something about future, you will not know anything about now. So it's like we say it's like uncertainty. If there's an uncertainty, no matter what you do, there's uncertainty because you're not God.
Oh, I see.
You get what I mean?
Yeah,
Like I said, there's uncertainty.
Yeah.
Even though you know this, you will not know the other, and then you will know other, you will not know the other.
It's like basic economic terms, like opportunity cost.
Yeah, basically.
Right? So if you do one thing, you don't you might be missing out on another.
Exactly.
So you just relate that to like uncertainty in this situation.
Yeah. So like, I would say like there's a certain amount of error that you're gonna come across to your plan, right? And if you're gonna have that, don't just like fall down and cry like a baby.
Yeah.
Rather, just use it as a tool, use it as a fuel.
Yeah.
Stand up, use it, and then think about what you really want to do. And of course, the thing about a lot of people say, you need to follow your dream. You have to do what you want to do. But in my opinion, there's certain things that you don't want to do, right? Yeah. But you have to do in life. And if you just chase what you want to do, you'll eventually not able to do the things that you don't want to do, even though it's in the middle of the path of what you want to become.
Right.
You get what I mean,
yes,
right?
Yes.
So I would say enjoy what you don't want to do too. So what I mean is, I mean is like even though if like say for me as a science, HKU science students, I want to do physics, right? But during the first year we have something called science. There's these two courses that you have to take. Even it's like a mixed science like biology, chemistry, and stuff.
Yeah.
Physics, and as a person who likes physics and who wants to do physics, doesn't really want to do that course, right? Because there's chemistry and biology and stuff. Maybe for those people who does not know what they want to do in the future, would take that course seriously and decide which path they want to go. But for me, I really wanted to do physics from the very beginning, so I just did it.
Okay.
And the problem with that course is I genuinely didn't like it because it was the workload was a lot, right? Yeah. And I wasn't getting any enjoyment back then.
This is year one?
Year one.
Yeah, okay.
And so I didn't do that well. Like I genuinely didn't care, right? But then I realized how important it was when I became third year.
Third year.
Yeah. Okay. Like the way you write report, the way you actually analyze your sciences and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So your science research papers and stuff. So it was one of the important course. So what I would recommend is that if I enjoyed certain amount of what I learned from there, would have been actually good. Like when I say enjoy, even though you don't like it, what do you mean by enjoy? Meaning just go there. Maybe you have friends there. Enjoy that moment. Just be there. At that moment, talk about stuff. You don't need to learn about the course, but you can have a lot of interaction and sciences and stuff. And a lot of people who's listening to this podcast and who does science would say, and I don't know about biology or chemistry, but in physics, a lot of people are very quiet. Quiet people. And when it comes to, so it's like, I had a friend and he was actually very, very sad, I guess, about the fact that he does not have any close friend in HKU who does physics. So I would say during that year, try to interact with, in science. So try to interact with people who's doing your field, around your field, get to know each other, who knows, later on it will go up till, maybe to death, I don't know, the relationship.
Right. Yeah, I'd say like from my experience, if you get into a subject that you're not very certain that you're gonna like, but it's something that you think you should be doing or you wish to be doing or your parents are wishing you to do it, I'd say think of it in a different way. And by that I mean like start enjoying the things around it rather than the thing itself.
Exactly.
And then you'll start appreciating the thing itself.
Yeah.
So for me, architecture, I'm doing architecture, and at start, I mean, I had no clue what it was. I applied simply for the sake of applying.
Right.
Because I knew I didn't want to do engineering.
Right.
My only reason to architecture was I don't want to do engineering, so I'm going to do architecture. And then I came in, and at the start it was just very, very odd because it's like nothing what I expected, and especially the people around me, they were all just it's very local people.
Right.
So it was hard for me to adjust in, and then I just found like random things that weren't related to architecture to be sort of conversating about with people around me in architecture.
Right.
So I just talk about the most random things with the most random people, and then you just start having fun.
Right.
And then now I can appreciate architecture because I associate it with the fun I had in a different way. And makes now sense. I can associate that fun. I can link it back. I'm like, yo, I actually like everything that's going around. That's pretty fun. So I mean, it's hard for almost every single person when they first come into uni. So, and for me personally, I wouldn't have listened to any advice someone gave me. Any one of my seniors gave me. That's true. Because I feel like it's all a personal thing. How you want to play the game.
Yes.
So I would have personally not listened to anything and just figured it out on my own. I know it's very, very difficult, but I feel like that's the best way to do it, unless you think any other way.
No, I totally agree. I would say, there's this quote, right? Like, the more you F around, the more you find out.
Yes,
you know what I mean?
There's the graph thing. Yeah.
So, I totally agree with that. So, for me, is that the reason why I wanted to actually study physics was, I was very dumb. You have to understand. I was very dumb. Like
that is just so bizarre. To
me.
Yeah.
I was like very, very dumb. Like a lot of people was like, "How dumb?" I was like, I didn't know half plus half was 1 until age of what? I think like until like first around like 11 or 12.
Oh no!
I was that dumb.
Oh no!
No, it's not like, maybe, I don't know, I had some issues.
I think it was just you being lackluster.
It could be.
Like, I'm not bothered.
Yeah. But I just genuinely didn't like studying. I didn't really find the purpose of it, and I tried to use different techniques, just like snake around, smooth around from like all the work that I have to do.
Go with the flow, see what happens.
See what happens. I just from like 10 a.m. I go out, I come back around 12 and at night, and I would just sleep. So like this kind of lifestyle was my secondary school year period. And then when I turned 16, I think. 15 or 16. Yes, 15. Sorry, 15. I realized my life is screwed. I realized my life was screwed because I genuinely have no talent. Like, I mean, I genuinely have no.
I get you.
Yeah, I don't know what I really want to do.
What am I good at?
Yeah, what am I good at? Because you just all you do is just like. Yeah. So what I did was just F around. I didn't find out anything. I did the first part. I didn't do the second part. Yeah. So what I told myself is that, so from now on, what I'm going to do is I'm going to do everything that is given to me at my best. Right? I'm going to try this at my best. So I've done like, so I learned opera. So during opera.
Oh, singing. Like singing.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So during the time I actually learned that, like very, very intensely. Like I tried to learn. I tried to get it.
Put in the effort.
Yeah, I put in an effort, and I put in the effort in studying, doing my IGCSEs and IEL. And the funny thing about me is that since I don't know anything about 0.5 equals plus 0.5 equals 1, I was that dumb. For me to study anything that is advanced than that was difficult.
Right.
right? You get what I mean? It's like,
It's a big step up.
yeah,
Yeah.
big
Yeah.
step up. So it's like my brother was like, dude, you need help. Like
Yeah.
you need really help.
Yeah.
So, but the thing is, I really put an effort. I started to study, and I genuinely started to enjoy what I learned, right?
Okay,
And I
yeah,
started to
yeah.
get curious about the entire world. It's like, wow, how does this function, right?
Yeah.
So, I got really interested in science, right?
Yeah, and then that's a big thing that I've noticed amongst all the
Yeah.
people that study science is
Yeah.
they have this general consensus of pure curiosity
Right.
of how things happen,
Exactly.
and most of the time they find the answer through science,
Right.
which makes sense. I mean, science has a lot of natural sciences
Mm-hmm.
have a lot of procedure in terms of proving what's
Right.
true based on evidence, based on hypothesis,
Right.
based on theory, based on statistical data,
Mm-hmm.
which means it gives an answer that is somewhat tangible,
Right,
somewhat
right.
understandable by everyone,
Right.
with even with a basic understanding, because it relates to something everyone can understand.
Mm-hmm.
It's actually interesting because we did similar stuff like this in TOK in high school. We had a subject called TOK, Theory of Knowledge,
Okay.
and I'd say it was one of my favorite subjects,
Okay.
just because it changed. It like not changed, but like it really helped you think. I mean, theory of knowledge, you
Right.
have to think. And we talked a lot about like comparing natural sciences to like pseudosciences,
Right.
and why would people value natural sciences more than pseudosciences?
Okay.
And from there, it's just like you think about, well, what am I looking for?
Mm-hmm.
That's your initial research.
Mm-hmm.
What do I think will happen? That's your
Right.
hypothesis. What is actually going on?
Yeah.
That's your testing.
Right.
And what actually happened?
Right.
That's your conclusion.
Yes. Result in discussion.
Yes, exactly. So the whole process, it like helps break it down, give structure
Right.
to the understanding, which is why I feel like a lot of the science people,
Yeah.
they have a very practical way of looking at things.
Yeah. So the thing is that I genuinely got interested in science because of those reasons that
Exactly,
you had
yeah.
mentioned. And then the thing is, I started off with biology.
Okay.
I was like, I want to learn about my body, like
Right.
how I function.
Okay, so it started like on an internal
Yeah,
level,
so I was like, I want to know how I function. I studied this, and I started to get curious about chemicals inside my body, like
so
how.
biology to chemistry.
And then I turned to chemistry.
You're right, yeah.
But then when I was started chemistry, I was like, how does this chemical work? Why do they exist?
Yeah.
I realized that's physics.
Physics, yes. Physics. Yeah.
I realized that was physics. I was like, then I'm gonna study physics.
Physics is like the father
Yeah.
of all.
I just want to learn about how things work. Now I'm gonna study physics.
Yeah.
I decided in my mind, and I put my best effort, everything to achieve a sort of good grade to come to HKU.
Yeah,
sort of.
obviously. Well,
Yeah.
you are you're about to graduate from
Yeah.
HKU. You had
So-
to have done good.
So I tried my best, and then but there are probably times that you question your curiosity, or
Yeah, of course.
you question your genuine interest of this.
When the assessments are hitting different, you're just
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
do I
yeah.
really have to be doing
Yeah.
this?
But you just have to understand it's not the thing is, during the break, what I did was this: try to read one of your read or anything related to what you study,
Uh-huh.
and then you genuinely check if you still have that interest in you
Right.
when you
yeah.
don't have that kind of a pressure of assessment.
Yes.
If you still do, follow it.
Yeah.
If you don't, then maybe you actually need to change your major, or
Consider
maybe you
changing, yeah.
consider changing it, or maybe you find out why is this happening,
Yeah.
why you genuinely want to, or having suffering this. So every summer break or winter break, what I do is I'll read one of the research papers
Right.
or research article, like small one, whatever, and I was like, oh, that's interesting. If I
If
hit
you-
that point,
yeah.
I'm like, okay, never mind.
Then I'm stuck.
Then
yes.
I'm good.
staying.
Yeah, I'm saying,
Yeah.
and that means I can because you have to understand when you were in high school, you thought high school was very tough,
Yeah.
right? And then you thought high school was like very big thing, but when you come to university,
in general, yeah.
you realize how it was compact and how it was forced for you to study in a certain way.
Right. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Same thing. If you go to graduate school, a lot of people say university, like undergraduate,
Yeah.
is kind of a like sort of that way
Yeah. It's just,
where they force you to understand certain things and
In a
try
sen-
to study in the what they designed in the
Right.
past. But when you go to graduate school, what happens is that you do what you want.
it's complete freedom.
Yeah, just like you want to read, just read,
Yes.
right? You
Yeah.
don't need to do all this sort of whatever,
Courses.
Yeah, you don't-
Common Core.
Yeah,
like,
you don't have to do
there,
all
there,
that.
there's no obligation
You're right.
other than your own commitment and will to do
Exactly,
something.
exactly. So they say, so a lot of people who went to graduate school, who's doing graduate school, like recommend a lot of people come to graduate school.
Come get
I don't know if they are trying to like lure us to the pain, or it's just like they genuinely actually enjoy
Yeah.
their time in the graduate school.
No, I think they genuinely do have to enjoy it because for me the way I think of it is that if I'm going to commit that much time, especially considering like overall my like throughout my life
Right.
span, if I'm gonna like commit that big of a portion of my life into something, I should be enjoying it.
Right,
I should be, and if I don't, then obviously it's gonna feel like a waste of time.
right.
But yeah, what I did want to get into more deeper is your interest in physics,
Right.
right? There's from my very basic knowledge, I know there's like different fields of physics,
Yeah.
right? There's like theoretical physics.
Right.
There's what else is there?
There's
There's,
experimental
Experimental. That's the one. Yes.
physics, applied physics.
Applied physics. Yes.
Yeah.
So, what in like just quick rundown? What's the difference between the three?
So basically, it's just a name. So applied physics is like, let's say you have your cell phone,
Yeah.
right? You have your iPhone, whatever. Your SSD card. That's solid state physics.
Yeah.
So you use solid state physics to make those kind of
I
that's
see.
applied physics.
Okay.
Now experimental physics is that, for example, astrophysics. What you do is that you observe, you test, you find out, you're right, this theory is correct, or
Like-
maybe you find another
Yes.
bizarre phenomena saying that maybe there's another theory. Now theoretical physics is the one who's nerdiest.
Nerd.
So what you do is that you sit down with a paper and nowadays
Yeah.
technology develops, so with a computer,
Yeah.
and there's all coding and stuff. What you do is that you read a lot of books, you try to figure out a lot of theories with mathematics and
Conjectures. That's
yeah.
That's the key word.
yeah.
yes,
So
conjectures.
that's theoretical physics.
Right.
So what I do for me is I didn't know until my fourth year's first semester, like this semester,
Yeah.
is that as like I followed the courses that I like, I realized I like theoretical physics.
Okay.
So genuinely, if I graduate, I would be having a kind of certificate saying that this dude is interested in theoretical physics.
Yeah, something like
So
that.
somewhat I became a nerdiest guy in physics.
Yeah.
So
Like you say the nerdiest guy, but I think theoretical physics to me as well is also like the most interesting,
I see.
just because from like the very basic idea of it that I have, it's very intriguing to me. Just the idea of, again, the conjectures I mentioned.
Right.
The idea of a conjecture, you make a claim, and then you just have a whole community of people
Right.
figuring out whether this is true or false.
Yeah, of course.
Right.
Yeah,
That's the idea of
true.
it.
That's true.
So I feel like that is like the driving force of trying to understand everything.
Right.
The same thing you said, like what got you interested is that you just want to know everything about everything. You just want to know how it works. So I think that's the driving force of it, which is why I'd say theoretical physics would be something I would do if I was interested in doing it.
But the thing about theoretical physics is that when we communicate between people, you use language.
Yeah.
Theoretical physics, you use mathematics as a language.
Yes.
So
Yes,
basically,
yes.
a sort of communication is going through using mathematical equations and whatever. And of course, if you ever learn like a new language, you suffer
Yeah, yeah,
right?
of course.
But then
yeah.
as you so like the mathematics that you learn in high school
Oh,
is
fuck.
just like ABCs
Yes, yes.
in English, and then when you go to like undergraduate,
It's like
you started to write complete sentences,
yeah, it's like grammar.
yeah, essay and stuff.
Yeah.
I'm like, whoa, okay, this is too much, but still, I still enjoy it, and yeah, and yeah, I still enjoy it, and a lot of people who does theoretical physics
Mm.
have their own specific ways of studying.
Right. Yes. Yes.
So what I mean is that when they study, they just don't read it and memorize it.
Yeah. No.
Some people actually write a summary, literally,
Okay.
about the course with with the equations and everything.
Oh.
Another guy which is me, visualizing. So what I
Okay.
do is when I make a note, I write,
Mm.
and also at the same time I draw. So everything.
Draw. How do you? How
So
do
like
you-
everything that I learned, like for example, let's say I mean it's really his example is
Yeah.
mechanics, let's say.
Okay. Yeah.
Mechanics you can draw everything. But when
Yes.
it comes to, for example, should I say okay, it's gonna be long, but then there's
Fine.
something called liquid model in nuclear physics.
Yeah. Uh huh.
So what they did is that they think the nucleus
Yes.
is a liquid, like a liquid droplet.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of molecules
Yes.
in a
in the nucleus.
in a liquid,
Yeah.
in a ball of liquid,
Yes.
where they have all the surface tension and
Yes.
interaction between the molecules and stuff, right? And so when you think about that, normally you can write them down, like the liquid model.
Yeah.
They think it's this and
Yeah.
this. For me,
Yeah,
what I
I-
do is I draw a droplet,
Yes.
and I say this is a liquid model. I draw
Yeah.
molecules, and certain part would mean a certain forces. That's why
Mm.
they have this kind of thing in the equation. So it's like mind map, but with a diagram.
Right. Yeah.
So that's how I make my
I think
notes.
that makes more sense.
Oh, right, right,
yeah,
right.
I mean, you
Mhm.
can't because when you speak like a language, let's say English,
Yeah.
you speak English. People can interpret the same word in different ways.
Right.
So I feel like the only way to differentiate what you truly mean is
Mm.
to show a visual diagram,
Right.
because then that confirms both verbal and visual
Right. Right.
like stimulus in a way. Like
Uh-huh.
you can relate both of them and then come to the same conclusion.
Right.
Whereas if you just have one of them, it's confusing, right?
Right.
So I think it makes sense that you take a note, but then you also draw a diagram, or also draw a drawing to explain what that note is
Yes.
about, right?
So yeah.
Yeah.
But then the thing is, a lot of people say like, "Oh, when did you figure out it?" Don't worry, I figured out in my third year, second semester. It took me
Right.
3 years.
3 years, yes.
3 years to figure out what actually is suitable for me as a studying method.
Yeah, yeah.
So yeah,
It's just, I mean, the basic of it is just year 1, year 2, put your head down, get to work,
yeah, just get to work,
and
just
then you'll
try to
figure it out.
Yeah,
It will click.
yeah,
Like once it clicks, you'll be like, damn.
yeah. And
That's
also the
it.
second thing is like you have to, of course, do a little bit of research of different methods of studying, of course,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
because we human beings are not very very different.
Yeah.
Right? It's not like entirely different. Of course, if you have
We're all different in like very, very unique ways.
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
very,
yeah.
very small ways.
yeah,
But overall, as a general populace,
exactly.
there's
exactly.
a reason we are human beings.
Yeah, right. Why we consider as a species?
Exactly. Exactly.
So try to do research. Try to try this out. Try this method and that method. And if you figure it out way before in university life, then you probably ace your university,
Oh yeah.
HKU.
But where's
so
the fun in that?
Yeah, props to that. But then those people are the one who makes my life a little bit tough. But
Yeah. they set the curve a bit too high. Yeah,
too high. Or sometimes they are the one who get A's, so I can get A minus. I don't know.
Yeah.
It depends, but
Always competition.
yeah. So yeah,
So actually, talking about competition,
right,
I want to talk to you about your brother,
right.
because you mentioned your brother that he went to HKU, he studied electrical engineering. I just want to know what your like relationship with your brother was like. With like competition wise,
Oh,
because both of you went to HKU. Was there
Right.
any sort of tension as to like who's doing the better subject, or like who's gonna
Oh.
end up in a better state or something like that?
Oh, okay. So first of all, my family thought I'm gonna become a high degree beggar. So, so the reason for that is that for Asian culture,
Yeah.
when you do a natural science, that you're not gonna get a lot of earnings,
Right.
right? Which is somewhat true, at the same time not true, right? If you put an effort to it, you will. If you become a professor, whatever,
Yeah.
you still earn quite
It's
a lot.
Quite a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah. More than
So
enough.
so, but like according to like Asian culture, you know, lawyer, doctor,
Yes.
this-
The stereotype.
yeah, the
yes.
stereotype, you know, or like sometimes because of my brother, like now software engineer,
Yeah.
and stuff like that. So we didn't really have that competition because my parents were like, he's gonna do what he wants to do
yeah.
anyways. So like let him be.
Yeah.
But then, my brother actually suffered a lot throughout his university life because at first he didn't know what he really wanted to do.
Okay.
So he didn't know why he was in HKU, the purpose of his studying electrical engineering.
Right.
Because the thing is, he didn't really have anything wanting to do. So my father was like, "What about electrical engineering?" So he just followed what the father said.
Yeah.
But then when he went to military service, of course, as a Korean, you have to serve for 1 year and a half. So my brother went there. While he was staying there, he met a lot of people, a lot of interactions, and he realized what he really wanted to do. And the thing that he really wanted to do was related to software engineering.
Okay.
Now, since then, he started to put an effort towards what he wanted to do.
Yeah.
So, but my parents, because since he doesn't want to do electrical engineering, of course he doesn't score quite a good CGPA. You get what I mean, right?
Yeah.
During the first year and second year. So my parents were scared because they are, HKU as an international student is quite a lot. The fee.
Yeah. International fees are crazy.
It is crazy. So like my parents were like, "Oh, I'm paying my son
paying
a lot."
Yeah.
But then if he does not, like, of course I get it to a certain extent because because we human beings eventually die.
Yeah.
So if my parents are
God forbid.
then my brother and I will be alone, like both of us together, and then he has to take care of his life. And as a parent who's old enough would be concerned about their son.
Of course.
Right?
Yeah.
And they were scared, and they were trying to like tell my brother what you really want to do. Try to figure out.
Yeah.
Blah blah blah. Why? But what about you push yourself a little bit about electrical engineering, and then a little bit boost up your CGPA.
Yeah.
A bit, but then my brother was very certain what he wanted to do, and he realized he was very interested in finance.
Finance.
Yeah.
Okay.
So now he actually applied for graduate school. Right now.
Oh, okay.
In
okay.
HKU, he's doing fintech.
Fintech. Yeah. That's very. I think that's a very like up and coming thing, right?
Yeah. But the thing is, you have to understand, it's like from electrical engineering to fintech.
That's a big change.
Yeah, and then that path wasn't easy. So
yeah, of course.
my brother, props to my brother, man. But like he probably went through a lot. He's earning and he's having a sort of successful life. He's enjoying his life. So props to him. So we really didn't really have that competition type of things.
Okay,
because
amazing.
of
That's good.
Yeah.
Because I mean, it's not like you guys were there for each other for each step of the way, but it was always sort of like this consoling, comforting feeling that I do have someone close to me,
right,
and we're not exactly competing, but we're also supporting each other.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that was the sense. And of course, when I was having my hard time during my first year and second year, my brother helped me a lot. And when he was suffering through his third year, I helped him too. It was. I think it's as time goes by. I think it's the brothership that actually that really matters eventually. The bloodline, basically.
Yeah. I mean, I don't have a brother, but I really wish I did.
Oh, really?
I really do wish I had a brother, but I have been blessed with two sisters, one older,
good.
one younger.
Mm-hmm.
I love my younger sister to bits.
Mm-hmm.
My older sister. No. I understand that gap sounded a bit. No, I'm just saying like, she is very strict on me at times. Not directly,
right?
But I can tell that she's doing it to make me better because we grew up in a way where my sister had to do so much. She had to sacrifice so much.
Right.
Um, she sacrificed a lot for me because like as a kid I was kind of dumb. So
Okay.
she had to like step up
Right.
her game, get better. She had to do so many things, so I appreciate her for that. But yeah, I mean, I'm always gonna say she's kind of annoying to me, but again, I appreciate everything
Yeah.
she's done for
It's
me.
it's a good annoying.
Yeah,
you
it's a
know?
good type of annoying.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
it's like because of her annoyance, I am who I am.
Yeah.
Because of her, I'm pushing myself.
And also you
Because it's
become
like
disciplined.
yeah, exactly. It's
Yeah.
discipline. Like we never really fought. There was no fighting. It's all just verbal, and it's just like body language cues. Like I can tell when she's pissed off,
Right.
like without saying a single word. And I'd say that's very common amongst my whole family. Like we don't have to exactly say a lot of things. We just
Right.
know. So yeah, I mean that's the way I got like pushed, and I'm still nowhere near her level, I'd say.
Right.
But I always know that she's 2 years older than me, so I still have time to catch up
Right.
in
Of
terms
course.
of what I'm gonna do in 2 years. I just have to be on the same level as her. That's just like one of my like set goals. So siblings are good in general.
Right.
If anyone's like a single child,
Right.
they can go in two very different directions.
Right.
You could be spoiled, or you could be that guy
Yeah.
and just do everything properly.
Right.
But siblings, they sort of moderate each other, especially
Right.
if they're like close age range. But I do wish I had a brother, man.
I see,
I
I
do
see.
wish I had a brother. I want someone I can wrestle down, you know.
Right. Right.
So yeah,
Right.
but siblings are fun. But I want to go more into your sort of social life in
Okay.
HKU. Like, I know you're studying physics, which is a very, very hard subject.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
And I know you're very disciplined because of the amount of times I've seen you go gym.
Okay. Yeah.
So
do.
how do you balance social life with all that?
So of course this is also trial and error.
Yeah.
During my first year, all I did was studying. I messed up my health
Yeah.
and messed up my mental health also,
Mm-hmm.
in a way, and that's the reason why I had to take a gap year after like first semester of third year.
Would you say that's a good solution for a lot of people? That
Taking a gap year,
yeah.
if you think it's needed, go take it.
Would is it like harmful in any way or?
No, it. I mean, if it's better than being in pain.
Damn.
It's,
When you put it like that, it's very true.
It's
yeah.
better than being pain.
Yeah.
So anything that happens, your health matters, right? You matter basically. A lot of people don't get it when you come to HKU or any universities. Is that you think this is everything? This life that you are going through is everything. The studies is everything. But funny thing is that when I got into like
But when you're at that stage, it is everything.
yeah, it is everything.
Yeah.
But then you have to keep remind yourself it's not, right?
True.
But when I was in the first year, I thought it was everything too, and I
Yeah.
suffered a lot. So I didn't really have work-life balance, and then my stress level was so high,
yeah.
and I was just suffering, mentally and physically.
Yes.
And third year was most tough period, and I had to take a gap year, and a lot of people. I've seen a lot of people who suffer from mental health, and I had a friend who decided to take a gap year during the semester, like very end of the semester, because it was very dangerous. I felt the danger.
Oh.
I felt it, and I was like, "What about you take a gap year?"
Yeah.
Like, like she was also saying about it, like maybe I should take a gap year. And it's like, so you think you can do it? If you can, then do it.
Definitely do it.
Yeah, just do it. It was very dangerous, and I thank God that she did.
Amazing.
She took a gap year. Now I think she's better,
Great.
which is great. But as again, if you're scared that this gap year would make your life a little bit tougher, it's better than being in painful.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
It's better than being painful. And during that year, I've learned a lot. During that gap year, I learned a lot about myself and what.
That's another thing. Like, if you do take a gap year, it's like do something with a gap year.
Yeah.
Right. Learn about yourself.
Yeah, but like the thing is, what you do is that you, even though it's a very small thing, if you experience it, you will learn it. So
Yes.
what I mean is, like, even though you just play around during the
Yes.
time, you will relax and have fun. Do it, but let me tell you, do it well,
Yeah.
right?
Reflect on it. I'd say.
Yeah, just do it as well as you can. Do it as much as you can. Do it as well as you can.
Yeah.
Play a lot, but don't get hurt.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah,
of course.
of course. Don't hurt yourself and stuff like that. So yeah, but then during that period of time, you will eventually learn about yourself, what you are, who you are, what kind of type of person you are. If once you know that, if you know yourself, you will able to use it in any area. So it can be
True.
studying, it can be social life,
You
it
just
can
become
be
more efficient.
yeah, more efficient. It can be maybe in a relationship, friends or girlfriend, boyfriend, some sort of. So you can use this as a tool. So so if you can take it, take it. I think it's 2 years maximum that you can take a gap year. So like in total, it's a 6th year of university life.
Okay.
So take it if you can. If you need to, take it and rest a bit. If you think it's quite dangerous,
Yeah.
like mentally,
Yeah, of course.
then take it.
Like I'd say there's like a certain level to it. Like obviously, for you to get better at anything and for you to get better in life in general, you have to push yourself. You have to like challenge yourself into doing certain things. But if it passes a level as to where it's genuinely harming you,
Yeah.
then you
Yeah,
gotta
of
find,
course, of course.
you gotta step back a
Yeah,
little
yeah.
bit. Yeah, just be like, I'm going too far.
Yeah.
If like if it's gone to the point of like I genuinely cannot sleep or I
Right.
genuinely cannot do something,
Right.
take it back a little bit.
So sometimes self-diagnosis is really important, especially when it comes
Exactly, self-diagnosis.
to
Yes.
when it comes to very personal thing like mental health
Yeah.
and stuff. Nobody can, like, if you're physically sick, like if you're bleeding,
Yeah.
you can tell, oh, this guy's dying, right?
Yeah.
Like
Would
you
assume
can,
so.
yeah, you can literally just say, oh, this guy is hurt.
Yeah.
But mentally, you will not able to see a symptom. A matter of fact, people who are actually suffering from depression seem to be more happy. Outlook.
Oh, right, they put on a mask.
They put
Yes,
on a mask.
yes, yes.
But when they're alone, they are in the most pain.
Right.
So you have to understand, like, it's very hard to other person to diagnose you if you're depressed or if you have anxiety or whatever. It's very difficult.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Unless you
You do it
yourself
yourself.
know that you are depressed and stuff. So if you need to sometimes you have to self-diagnose it.
Yeah. No.
Especially mentally.
Self-diagnosis is like the most. I'd say one of the most underrated things
Mm-hmm.
because a lot of people refuse to do it because I feel like they have this stigma that it'll lead down this rabbit hole of them just thinking about themselves.
Right.
So they just don't get started in the first place. But if you do it in like a safe and logical way,
Right.
then it can only result in a good outcome.
Right.
Yeah.
And then the self-diagnosing part does not have to be regarding mental health or
Yeah.
anything.
Anything.
Yeah, anything like your maybe your studies. You
Yeah.
have to
Study
like
life, work life,
yeah, and also
relationship with your parents, anything. Just
Everything.
self-diagnosis.
Yeah.
Yeah.
self-diagnose, self-reflect.
Yeah. Exactly.
And the second thing is that you have to have work-life balance. Work-life balance is important. You need to have certain amount of time, even though it's quite hard for most of the time. You have to have a time where you just do not care about studies or any work during that period of time. So you need to have that kind of a moment. Maybe 2 hours a day. 2 hours a day is not bad.
Yeah.
Yeah, 2 hours a day is not bad. And I use the time to do my hobby, which is going to gym. Right.
That's good.
I go to gym. I spend around 2 hours to 1 hour and 30 minutes, which is
That's more than enough.
yeah,
Like,
and if you want to have a really good mental health,
mm.
what you have to do is you have to have a really good physical health too.
Yep.
And vice versa.
Yeah.
So
they
if-
they play together.
Yeah,
You
they
can't-
play together.
yeah.
So I realized that, and I started to work out, and then my mental health was better,
Yes.
better than ever. So, yeah, if you guys, it does not have to be gymming. you can just run.
Hobby.
Yeah, anything.
Something.
Or if there is a way to make your heartbeat a little faster,
Right.
it's good.
Okay. Yeah.
It's good in some sense. A lot of people don't do that, and yeah. So if you have time, just do it.
Great. Well, like from this topic, what would you say is your key sort of phrase that you would give to someone, like as advice?
If you're gonna play
Yeah.
well. If you're gonna study well.
Okay.
Yeah. So
Amazing.
yeah. So what I mean is that you have to separate these two. This is not together.
Okay.
What I
okay,
mean is
okay.
like if you're gonna play
Just
during
play.
the 2 hours you play,
Yeah.
right? If you're gonna study 5 hours, then for 5 hours you study well,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. Yeah.
This balance is very important.
Right. You can't just
Yeah.
don't like mix things
Yeah,
around.
because if you don't separate these two, what happens is that during your studying you start to have different thoughts, you know.
Mhm.
But then if you know that you're gonna have this 2 hours of fun,
Yeah.
you will just like, okay, let me concentrate this time. And
Let
I'll
me
do
get this
thing.
done, and then 2 hours is
Exactly.
2 hours.
Yeah.
It's all mine.
2 hours
Yeah.
is 2 hours. And one of the things that I did was I turn off email notification because HKU they send you a lot of
The bulk
assignment.
emails.
Yeah.
Oh my
And
god.
it's not only about the bulk emails. Like you get all this assignments. Like, oh, new assignment is out. You get stressed. You're like, oh, I have to do blah blah blah. What I do is I just turn off the notification and I
Yeah.
do 2 hours of anything I want to do. You know?
Okay.
So-
yeah, that's a good way of thinking about it.
Yeah.
I'd say let's end it there.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you very much for coming
Yeah.
on. Would you what would you say in terms of inviting other guests? Like
Okay.
if
To
you-
hear, right?
yeah.
Okay. All right. I it was very fun talking to you and people who are listening to this. If you have certain things that you want to share, I think it's a great way to talk with. And sometimes talking is a really good thing.
Mhm.
So just do it. You know, so why not? It's
Yeah.
not gonna hurt anybody.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Of course, if you say something hurtful, yeah, of course it's gonna hurt somebody. But
Yeah.
like, if it's not, then I think it's worth a try.
Yes.